Hi, this is Jordan from Dark Victory Armory, and I'm going to show you how to rig out a shield, or at least how we do it. This is one of our polyethylene heater blanks. See, it has holes around the perimeter. That's for attaching the shield edging. What we recommend on the shield edging is a narrow diameter heater hose. You can get that at the auto parts store for pretty cheaply, and get it in black or some dark color. Makes it look better. If you want to, you could consider doing a little leather around the edge as well, but honestly, you're dealing with a synthetic shield. I don't see a terrible sin in using Amazon rubber or some sort of synthetic rubber with reinforcing threads in it. You're going to run it around the perimeter. Notice that it has holes. All of these holes, I use wire ties. Wire ties really work very well. On a conventional shield, you might consider using lacing and then doing a lock lace along the edge. With these poly shields, they're flexible. So I recommend against linking from hole to hole because it'll tend to stretch the shield inward. All right, you got to think about putting a handle on this. Now, there are a couple of different options you have. You can do like a leather and lace handle. You can do a leather handle if you wanted to. If you're a right-handed fighter, you're going to be wearing the shield on your left arm. And characteristically, most people, they do a mounting like that, with your hand sort of in that upper quadrant, pretty close to the front, because you're going to want to use it like this, or maybe in an open style, striking out against your opponent. So, you're going to have a handle here. A leather handle will work pretty well on this, but if you wanted to, you can also use a rigid handle. Rigid handle will give you a little bit more control. I have used in the past, I think it was 6 3/4 gate handles. You can find them at the hardware store for, $6, something like that. Or you can, use a Balder handle. This is from Duke Balder down in Troneris. I carry these as well. They're really strong and lightweight and cool and ventilated. You're not going to be attaching your handle directly to the shield. If you do, you're not going to have any space to put your hand with armor. So he makes these cool spacers, which are really good at making sure that you have enough space to get your paw in there. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so you're going to mount that handle up here. Obviously, you hold it about where it is, about where you want it to be, and then you mark in the holes. It's not exactly the easiest thing. It's going to tend to flatten out wherever you are mounting it, but that's kind of a good thing. If you look at the profile of the shield, that's a little extra curvy, and you might want it a little flatter. Before you did any modifications to, additions to this shield, you might actually want to flatten out the profile. These tend to curve a little bit extra, so heating it up as you would do any of our plastic items, and invert it and jump up and down on it. It'll tend to flatten it out. It works pretty good. Just heat, and then it'll actually cool down pretty well. That's one handle right here. You got to do another handle as well. So here's what we do. This is a bridle leather strap with an 1.5-inch roller buckle attached. And then on the other side, it's just a bridle leather with lots and lots of holes. You don't really need this many holes, but I'm sending this overseas to a serviceman, and I don't know how he's going to set it up, so I want to make sure he has enough holes. All right, so where are you going to put it on your arm? Well, you know where your hand's going to be, right around there. But on your arm, you got to make sure that it crosses your arm in a place where it's going to be useful and effective and give you the right leverage to move that shield around. So there's an arm. You want it to cross kind of across that portion of your forearm, kind of in the meat of the forearm. You certainly don't want it right now near the elbow, because that'll make it awkward. You want it to be away from the elbow pivot, a couple of 3 inches above it. So ideally, you want your strap to cross right around there. That's true with virtually any arm strap shield. You're going to want your strap to be away from the elbow joint, just enough to keep it from interfering, to give you a good amount of leverage. I like strapping shields so that when you're pulling the strap, you're pulling it towards you. Pulling the strap away from you and then buckling it is hard. So when you're mounting this up, put your buckle on this side, and then you pull your strap through, and that way it gives you good leverage when you're mounting it up. That means buckle here, and I mount my buckle generally like this. Now, this is actually kind of a clever way that I have done buckles in the past. In fact, my overseas guy might well just want to mount it this way. See that arm strap? If you figure out where you want it, and you pop a couple of rivets or screws or whatever you want to use there, you can use the same piece of strap just to go back through the buckle, and now you have a nice, neat arrangement without having two pieces. So, it's another option. I think that's the long and short of how to put together shields. I hope this has been useful. This is Jordan from Dark Victory Armory. Fight hard.